It was a warm summer night over the mountains of western Oregon in the United States. The magical community of Pixiwick sat nestled in Mythwood Forest Valley right along the Unicorn River. It was a cozy little town that had both modern-looking buildings and more fantastical ones, such as tree houses, mushroom huts, homes built into caves, and Tamrian's Turtle Tavern, which was built into an enormous turtle shell that stood 3 stories tall. The town also had a shopping district called Spiral Market, named for the cobblestone road swirling out from a central clock tower in a spiderweb pattern. The larger white moon and the smaller sapphire moon were high in the sky, and everything was calm and quiet. Until it wasn't. Terrified screams suddenly pierced the night as an enormous serpent with black scales and greenish-yellow eyes appeared and began firing jets of emerald flames from her mouth. Homes and shops exploded as people ran for cover. The town sheriff pulled out his phone and frantically called the emergency number for Crowdell Academy, which sat at the other end of the valley. This was a prestigious magical combat school known for producing some of the best and brightest pro-battle mages in the world. The school was part of Beacon, Battle Mage Emergency Assessment and Crisis Operations Network, and kept pro-battle mages stationed there year-round to respond to emergencies in the area. "There's a snake monster attacking Pixiwick!" the sheriff cried out when his call was answered. "Commander Miyazoko is aware. She'll be there shortly. Please stay safe. Seek cover if you can," said a voice on the other end. "Okay, thank you." The sheriff ran around trying to help the townsfolk seek cover as the serpent blasted through more buildings. She caught sight of the sheriff and a few townsfolk fleeing and slithered over rapidly to block their path, towering over them. They looked up in utter horror and despair as the beast inhaled deeply, manifesting a green inferno in the back of her throat, the emerald light of certain death reflected in their terrified eyes. Sure, most of them could use some magic, but against a beast like this, they had no chance. Fortunately, there was a sudden blur of movement as a woman came flying through the sky at supernatural speeds. An intense whooshing sound and a sonic boom announced her arrival. She descended to the ground at an angle and skidded to a stop in front of the sheriff and the townsfolk, kicking up some dirt that had fallen onto the cobblestone road amidst all the chaos. Her brown eyes glared up at the serpent, her long dark hair flowing from the gust of wind that had been pulled behind her during her high-velocity flight. She was wearing a sleeveless cobalt blue robe over a black ninja combat suit. This was Hikari Miyazoko, commander of the Sky Wardens, the largest guild of pro-battle mages in the world. The ability to fly was required for all members, hence the name. The townsfolk breathed a sigh of relief, but the beast ignored the arrival and unleashed a stream of fire anyway. Hikari crossed her arms in front of her and summoned a blue energy shield to protect her and the townsfolk from the blast of green flames. "Orochi-hana! Bold of you to attack when it's just me on duty. Let's take this elsewhere, away from the town, now!" she demanded. "That's no fun," the serpent spoke, her voice booming out with a hissing, demonic-like distortion. She lifted her head and laughed into the sky as storm clouds materialized out of nowhere. A series of 9 scarlet lightning bolts struck the ground in a circle around Hikari and the townsfolk, each one leaving behind a figure wearing blood-red hooded robes and a gold medallion inscribed with the image of a 9-tailed fox demon. So, the Crimson Cowls now wear the mark of the Kyubikuza. How interesting. Hikari's eyes narrowed as she looked from side to side. She tightened her muscles and ignited an aura of rainbow energy, which spiraled around her body like a raging tornado of flames, accompanied by bursts of rainbow electricity. Her hair began to lift up and glow bright white, as if each strand was bioluminescent. The same effect lit up her irises as well. She extended out her arms, materializing a chromatic bladed katana in each hand. "So, the Super Luminary shows her stolen power!" Orochi-hana bellowed out. "Attack!" The 9 Crimson Cowls manifested various weapons into their hands and then rushed towards Hikari. She began jumping and flipping and dashing around as she deflected attacks with her swords, moving so fast that she left behind a glowing, crackling rainbow trail. They tried flinging fireballs and ice spears and lightning bolts at her, but she dodged them all. Try as they might, the 9 Crimson Cowls couldn't seem to land a single hit on the Luminary. She hadn't attempted a counterattack yet, making it clear she hadn't even begun. begun to use her full power. "What are you playing at?" Hikari demanded as she skidded to a stop. "It's clear now you have no chance of winning, so why continue to fight? What's the real motive here?" The 9 crimson cows suddenly fell still and silent, their weapons vanishing in puffs of red smoke. Then in perfect unison, they all chanted out, "Azurai!" Suddenly, a huge circle of bright purple runes ignited to life on the ground, and Hikari felt her body freeze in place from the neck down. They had been writing out invisible mana runes with their feet as they attacked her, forming a binding circle. The word Azurai meant activate in the arcane tongue, thus triggering the effect. "I wasn't expecting that. I must admit, I'm impressed," Hikari said with a smirk. "You have rendered me incapable of defending myself. Good job. So, what now?" Orochihana's serpent body began to shift into a swirling mass of dark green mist as it shrunk down into the form of a human woman with an appearance strikingly similar to Hikari, but retaining her greenish-yellow snake eyes. "Now I take what is rightfully mine, what you stole from me, dear sister." Her demonic voice had vanished with her snake form, now sounding more human. "Do not call me sister. You are not Asuna," Hikari said slowly, her expression turning cold. "You killed what remained of my sister the moment you sacrificed our parents to attain your corrupted demonic powers." "Perhaps it would have turned out differently if you hadn't stolen my power," Orochihana spat. "I was chosen by Vornis to be his successor. Me! It was my right to inherit the power. It's supposed to be handed down from master to apprentice. That's how it's been for centuries. And now I will claim what is mine by ripping the stolen chromatic flame out of your body." "You fool, that won't work," Hikari scoffed. "Vornis chose Asuna as his successor, but even he could not sense you growing inside her when he took her as his apprentice. The flame did not reject Asuna. It rejected you, Orochihana. It will do so again, and it was right. Just look at all the lives you have ruined. You will never be worthy of this power." Orochihana's face contorted in rage. Her skin began to crack and turn deathly pale as her greenish-yellow eyes became brighter. "If I can't have the power, then no one will!" she shrieked out frantically, gray veins beginning to creep up her face as her emotional state rapidly deteriorated. "The luminary cycle ends today! Kill her!" The Crimson Cows hesitated for a moment, caught off guard by the sudden change of plans. "Wait, we're destroying the power now?" one whispered to another. "The council will not be pleased." "We were instructed to obey Orochihana's every command," the other replied with a shrug. They all rushed towards the trapped Hikari. An explosion of light and energy ignited the night sky above them.